Hey guys, welcome back to Big Game Hunters. We've got Landon Hood, Jason Berard. Today we're going to be talking about the value of unsexy jobs and is following your passion the right way to go? Because as a child, you're taught, follow your dreams. If you follow what makes you happy and your passion, you'll be successful and it'll lead to success in life. And you look at it and you look at the most successful people in the world and what they're doing. Are they day traders? Are they bankers? Are they, whatever it is? Are they recruiters? Is that what your passion is? And so, really, Jason, honestly, is passion something that is it working hard and succeeding at something becomes your passion? Or does passion just become inherently something of who you are at first?
Yeah, it's
chicken,
funny.
egg, chicken.
It's funny too, because when you're younger, you have these dreams and you want to do these things, you want to be an astronaut or whatever it may be. And then when you kind of go through if it's a university system or when you're figuring yourself out in your early 20s, a lot of people ask that question shit, what am I passionate about?
Yeah.
And it's a question that people struggle with because you read so many articles about people saying, just follow your passion and everything's going to work out, right? Just follow your passion. It's easy to say.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is that passion is a result from action. So you can't say, I'm passionate about this, I'm going to go do this if you've never done anything like it before. Yeah. Because, you can say that because that might be your belief and you might go after it. It might work out that way or it might not. But, too often I think people just limit themselves and don't actually explore other avenues where they all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah,
and then you can swing on that. To it. But you need a little bit of a taster, a little bit of action to get that passion, I think. You can't just say, follow your passion. What does that mean? Yeah,
your passion could be dinosaurs and painting as a child, and that's because that's the only two things that you've been doing, right?
And I'm not going to be a paleontologist because I'm more of a Joey, not a Ross.
They found all the bones anyways. It's fine. But basically, exactly. If you find something that you're good at, if you work hard at it, if you succeed at it, then it becomes your passion. Look at anybody out there. Necessarily, Steve Jobs' passion was absolutely a function of creativity and a function of creating things. But where cell phones is passion, it's just something that he sort of became. He learned about and he got into. And so, really, the most successful people in life are somebody who looks at the way everybody is doing something and does it a different way, looks at an inefficiency and exploits it, figures out a way to do something differently, and then because of that success you ultimately become passionate about that.
It's funny because where we're taking this conversation into the unsexy jobs and the backbones of the economy and how people end up working in these jobs, and
even though they didn't dream about doing it.
They didn't dream about doing it, but it's the day-to-day, not many challenges, doesn't require too much innovation. However, what is the value behind those careers? Yeah,
society, as a whole, it tends to be waging a war on these, low. I guess they look at them as sort of low-end jobs, like high labor,
low skill,
rolling up your sleeves, low skill. You're not thinking. You don't have to have an undergraduate degree. You don't have to have a master's degree for it. And really, it's the wrong way of looking at it because it's the backbone of the world's economy. Not everybody can be the innovators. Not everybody can come up with a design or come up with a way of the automated processes. You need to have people imitating that innovation. You need to have people doing it over and over, tinkering away, running the machinery, skilled labor. And yes, there are situations where super unskilled labor will be automated in the future. But honestly, that the skilled labor, the dirty jobs, so to speak, the jobs that you don't dream about when you're a kid, that you don't dream about when you're a teenager, those are key, and those should not be looked down upon the way they are.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of fear about, are the robots going to replace this one and this one and this one and this one?
Particularly with big game hunters, we're very scared of robots.
We're very scared of robots over here. But no, I think there's just this inherent value of and a lot of it too will drive the middle class, which again drives the economy, right? The knowing that you have that security, that job security coming in day out, putting in that value, and really they are the people that a company can get built off of. Because if you have those people in place, then they're going to stay there for a long time. You can sort of scale your company where you need it in terms of more strategic level positions or executive positions and things like that. So, but again, like you said, on the forefront, they're valued as sort of unsexy jobs and things that we're not going to name what jobs we would classify.
Well,
as
it's turning a wrench, working on a farm, these sort of things, and going into the trades, and so often everybody, especially if you're young and you're looking at what career path you want to take, there's a lot of pressure to get that degree so you can maximize your potential, absolutely. But you see a lot of the high wage earners, a lot of the people who are the happiest in life are people who are doing these simple jobs. There's a certain symmetry in their lives where they're able to go in, do their work, become very, very good at something, and not necessarily have to to be the dreamers and not necessarily have to people that want to be Steve Jobs, all the time. And so, it's if in all of society, if everybody tries to be the people that create and build and dream, the world just wouldn't work.
We wouldn't have any functionality behind it. There would be literally no functionality behind it. You'd have a dysfunctional world of people who would just be living on cloud nine and be like, what about this?
I've got an idea.
What about this?
Yeah.
And then, totally. Like it's truly is the backbone. And going back towards the passion, like I think, the more you get involved in it and the more you stay in it, like, obviously the better you get at it. And I think people become truly happy with themselves because it fits into their life at that time, right?
Yeah.
So, if you're out there trying to find your passion, I think, at every single age, you might ask that question, what is my passion? I just try a few things. Like I would just try a few things. Or if you are in one of these jobs where it's day in, day out, always the same, always the same, always the same, and you're just bored, well, just try something new. Like, you know what I mean? Like you might have to give up some of the security that it inherently, has when you're working those kind of roles, but it doesn't mean that you have to be classified as that. Skilled labor, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And so, yes, there's a lot of people who are unhappy in their day-to-day lives, but I would make the argument that there's just as many people who are unhappy sitting in a cubicle trying to come up with an online marketing campaign versus people who are out there turning a wrench. In fact, I'd say there's probably less happy in the cubicle.
What's wild is
per capita.
Is just to scale that back, like we're referencing happiness and things like that, and it's funny, like society as a whole ties it in always to like people's work and people's job because you spend so much of your day actually at work or trying to do something. But I don't think people understand that your happiness, and if you are feeling that way, it has nothing to do with that. Right at the end of the day, like it always has to do with the quality of relationships and what you have in place. But having said that, I would say most of the workforce is genuinely unhappy with where they're at.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, very rarely, like we're approaching someone's like, "Oh no, I love where I'm at." It might be like, "No, I'm good right now, but call me in a few months."
Grass is always greener.
A lot of there's a grass is always greener. There's a never enough type of feel when you're trying to pursue something in your own career. And I think also in the ones where it's the day to day the same, what happens is there's a lot of employee and employer disconnect that will happen. That's usually why people make a move. So people will make a move in those scenarios where they get angry or upset at something that's going on in work, and on the other end it's just about trying to accelerate their career at a very short period of time and keep looking for where that grass is greener.
Yeah, absolutely. In summary, it's finding something that you're good at, something that you're willing to work hard at, and finding happiness in your work, finding basically passion in your work. And so that's all the time we have today on Big Game Hunters. Jason Berard, Landon Hood, we'll catch you next time.